Divergent Scientificos. Today's topic is about addiction and sports. The first point I would like to make is that people in the past did a lot of manual labor. They worked the land and they moved a lot. And drugs have been used for millennia. There was opium, there was alcohol, there was cannabis, and many more. However, addiction was much less prevalent in society in general. And the main reason for that is that people work their bodies physically all day long. The second point I like to make is that people practiced a lot of sports until a few decades ago. So the baby boom generation, doesn't matter if it was in the western side of the world or in the communist regime, they did a lot of sports starting from school. They were often involved in professional sports like football, gymnastics, athletics, etc. And guess what? There weren't many addicts at the time as there are nowadays. And sports and physical activity is the main reason behind it. So the third point I would like to make is that addiction creates a lot of blockages in the body, both physical and emotional. So starting a yoga practice, for example, can help clear a lot of these blockages and make you more mentally stable. Yoga clears the energy centers of the body and the channels between them so that energy can flow freely. The next very important point is strength exercises. These are push-ups, pull-ups, stomach crunches, etc. Strength exercise releases a lot of positive hormones in the body. They help you release a lot of endorphins, which reduce both emotional and physical stress in the body. A lot of dopamine is also released, which helps with the energy and motivation, and it is often depleted in addicts. I would say dopamine is involved in every single addiction, and various addictions, of course, deplete you from a lot more chemicals except for dopamine. In addition, physical exercise stimulates the production of glutamate, and glutamate is the most abundant neurotransmitter in the brain. It is involved in memory and learning, and in general the capacity to do work. Some of that glutamate later turns into GABA, which is responsible for relaxation. It's much more vital for sleep, in my opinion, compared to melatonin. And GABA is depleted in so many addictions like alcohol addiction, like pornography addiction, like cannabis addiction, and more. And in general, GABA is a modulator neurotransmitter, so it stands between serotonin and dopamine neurons. So if you deplete your dopamine, your GABA gets depleted as well. And in the end, you're unable to relax and to sleep properly. And last but not least, exercises, both yoga and strength exercises, help produce serotonin. This is the main mood regulator. And later on, some of it turns into melatonin, which helps you fall asleep as well. Oh, I forgot to mention, exercise also stimulates our endocannabinoid system, so it is very vital as a substitute for cannabis addiction. There are three things which I know of that stimulate our endocannabinoid system. One is cannabis, of course, and the others are physical exercise and sex. So the fifth point I would like to make is what should be one's motivation to do exercise, because I know most people are pretty lazy to do it, myself included. But you know what motivates me? This is that you can exercise for half an hour or 45 minutes or 1 hour a day, and on the other side you can be depressed for the whole day. So what do you prefer? I think this should be the main motivator. It's hard to do it, but it's harder to be depressed after all. Overall, exercises reduce stress, they reduce anger, and they diminish the chances of somebody having a meltdown. Feel-good chemicals uplift your mood and help you fight depression. Exercise is by far the most important good habit to substitute addiction and to build discipline to move on. And then, last point I like to make. It's better to start slow, but be consistent. You can start from 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and very slowly, gradually move on. However, as a general rule, if you exercise a bit and still feel angry, anxious, or depressed, it means you need more exercise. After all, what would you prefer? To be physically exhausted or to be emotionally drained? It's your choice. Think about it. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for your time, and peace be with you.